Man, it sucks. I think I erased my the other Eugenics rap video. So I guess I have to do this kind of like backwards, man. Alright, alright. They're a rapper from Detroit. His name's Esham. He coined the term, this genre of rap called acid rap, and it was also suicide rap. And he had a song, for instance, called "Let Me Drive You to Suicide," and it just keep playing that over and over again. And I mean, it's strange. I think this suicide there's cults, suicide cults, I think, out there too, man. Like I think Hamlet talks about drinking the poison and dying. And I think one of those real famous philosopher guys did commit uh ritual suicide with poison. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is part of, there's a hidden lore, like basically where a person believes in reincarnation, and their way to ascend is to they gotta let their soul leave their body. So they commit suicide, ritual suicide, or suicide with a different purpose. Not, oh, I don't want to live no more. No, it's like delusions of becoming greater. You know what I'm saying? And so this has been around. All right. Isham had a lot of he also had an album called Kill the Fetus, and that to me is screams Planned Parenthood Margaret Singer, which you know there's a movie called Meeting That Changed, or there's a video, The Meeting That Changed Hip Hop, where it talks about that there was a alliance between rap music executives and the prison industrial complex, and they conspired to make more violent music with worse imagery. Even though it's true, a lot of stuff like Tupac was saying, man, I gotta show you what the streets really like. I gotta get to mainstream community so they can make a proactive change. So I mean, good intentions, all right? But instead of waking us up to it and making us alarmed and react proactive, instead it made us do the same things that we were hearing in the and then think it's normal, it's okay. I mean, it's to soften you up to something before it's rolled out on you. And I mean, Pac, he died in an operation to start a race war, or no, a civil war between a race group, the blacks. And I mean, breaking the oath documentary. It's not the first part of it, but the second part. This dude does a presentation where he's got all the documents, and he went and researched it all. Man, it's like an hour long. I mean, it's boring. Most people can't stomach the boring guys talking. That's the stuff I like. Give me a dang podium and tape record me. I go for hours, on all kinds of subjects. But this is the best I got for now. You know what I'm saying? To get stuff out. And then bounce these ideas around out there in cyberspace. So I mean, a lot of people knock that. Oh man, take it to the streets. Oh, so I can get thrown in jail, and we got one less soldier on the field. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my buddies from Detroit. One of my YouTube buddies. He was like, "What?" He's like, "Why are you gonna go throw yourself away, like, and try to go out like in a blaze glory or hardcore or whatever?" When your homies out here in the world needs you to stay alive. They need you to endure and at least stay in the game, because it encourages us when we know. Like, I know I got some homies down the road that are doing the dang thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it has an effect, a psychological effect, and it allows you to see how God works in others' lives. You know what I'm saying? And that can enlighten you to how he's working in your own. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I see these things. And it was just a true statement. And that's directly different from this drive you to suicide. And the death wish rap, you know what I'm saying? To break you down, man. I mean, all right. There's 1-800-SUICIDE from the Gravediggers. And the whole song, it's suicide, 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 suicide. See, I already just said that like 4 or 5 times. So, I mean, that NLP already went into effect. All you got to do is say something 3 times, and it went into effect. So a song, just a hook, is a repetition like 3 times normally, or 2, and it's a repetition most of the time anyway. So I mean, it's like nursery rhymes are a way to, it's a way to trigger memory. You know what I'm saying? So, but you won't even remember why do you say elemental P? Why does everyone say elemental P? It's because it was in rhyme form, and that's a form of neuro linguistics programming, that you say it wrong to remember it right. You know what I'm saying? And everyone does it. Elemental P. Eminem, many songs talks about suicide. So I think he's carrying the torch for the suicidal artist, like Picasso. There's another suicidal artist. So they use these, schematics and archetypes over and over again. Dr. Kevorkian was from Detroit. I feel there is, they've been trying to give us hypnosis effect that maybe they want us to commit mass suicide, and all they got to do is say the right trigger words, and through chaining and anchoring and NLP, you will be suggestive to certain ideas and predisposition to do certain things under certain circumstances. And it could be very elaborate the way that they set this up, because it's not coming from one thing; it's coming from many sources. You know what I'm saying? It's a cocktail. It's not like a straight shot. It's like a cocktail. You know what I mean? But for instance, my grandpa was telling me about in Vietnam that they had this opiated weed from the Viet Cong, and the Viet Cong initially used the weed to try to make the soldiers so high that they couldn't fight, but instead it just kind of made them so they made them so they didn't care. When they were fighting, it like numbed the terror, the carnage a little bit, so they could even handle it better. You know what I'm saying? So it had an opposite effect. And then I think of 3-6 Mafia, the song called Bin Laden Weed. And it's like, Bin Laden is a false flag. And it just shows you, just like, and then I've heard Pablo Escobar also idolized in all kinds of rap albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all their dream at one time was to sell cocaine and you just retire before you get busted. That's like everyone's same dream. It's not that. It's not your dream, man. That was leaked to you. You know what I'm saying? That was another man's dream, and he wanted you to build his dream for him. And then at the end, they snatch it from you. It's like, and that is showed to you over and over and over again in all drug movies. Right at the end, the dude gets all this power and glory snatched from him. It's because the game was designed to put you there, to take you out, to build you up, to break you down. You know what I'm saying? And then rob you. I mean, it's crazy. But this is some of the ways they do it. They sell you dreams. MK, pimping. It's crazy. A lot of stuff. I heard a lot of mystery school, Muslim, Kemetic, humanistic, theosophical, New Ager, one world programming, man. And part of, if you're theosophistic, the theosophists believe in the ascended masters, and they believe that all the Christians are holding them back, and they have to kill us. I mean, literally, you can look that up. They have to kill us one way or another. It doesn't matter if they can get us listening to music that makes us commit suicide, or watch movies that makes us commit suicide, like The Deer Hunter. You know what I'm saying? That entertain you to suicide. I mean, and they have. like local group Project Born. They had an album called Born Dead. Uh, it's it's crazy how deep this stuff really goes, man. This Mortal Technique, Dance with the Devil. It's about a ritual initiation, sacrifice, then suicide. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. Uh, there's uh, yeah, I heard a song that says, "If you ain't getting money, you need to go ahead and kill yourself." You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, uh, it's messed up that's not. I mean, that you can't recognize. It's like, wait a second, this is poison. You know what I'm saying? This is poison, and it's the love of money is the root of all evil. And you're listening to it. You know what I'm saying? And these people are pushing, they're selling it because I mean, it's crazy, man. Uh, this stuff is really deep. Like Jim Jones, you watch this Jim Jones video, and there's a part where it showed him when he was speaking in front of his audience, and there was all these shadow creatures with glowing eyes creeping through the crowd. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you were on LSD when you watch that footage, but it's not. It's like it's crazy. Something was going on big there. Gin looked like gin. That Jim Jones, and then look, LSD connection. That's intelligence. That's Huxley. That's tied up into all that, and it seems like that's mass suicide. You got the Heaven's Gate where they believe the UFOs were coming. It's like these are probably operations where they're learning how to manipulate people into the cult like mentality. That's really what it. You know, these music does kind of create a subculture and kind of a cult. You know, with its own language, its own programming. You know, in a way, right under your nose, because it's like the thing about having radically different types of music is some people it turns people off to the point where they tune out of it, and only that certain group gets that certain programming. You know what I'm saying? Let me think. Old school. Don't fear the reaper. You know what I'm saying? That song's about fucking suicide, man. I mean, all along, man. And you just all of a sudden you're like, wow, dude, this stuff is everywhere. And you see why now because it was by design. They want you. It's warfare. It's psychological warfare. It's meant to do you psychological damage. Like Tupac, a lot of his music, man, because he was targeted by the government, knew he was gonna die. He's seen death around the corner. You know, I mean, in a way, and it does feel that way, and it doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? When you even uh, reinforce it with music with intense imagery. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like I think the dude from Aerosmith, I heard him, the lead singer, he said one time that music is in the eye of the beholder. You know what I'm saying? So all these things are in the eye of the beholder anyway. It's like, listen, just because you don't behold what the next man does doesn't mean that it's not there what he beholds. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe that was the real reason it was stated in such a way that only certain people would behold it, and other people would it just kind of they would behold what they thought it was as opposed to what these things really are. You know, so in a way, either way, whether it is or it just is, it is. If it is at all, man. So uh, let me think. Oh yeah, the Men Who Stare at Goats. There's a part in it where they show that he was playing a song and it sounded like a regular song, but he says this has got sublims in it, and it says don't load your machine gun when you're drunk. And they would slip this song in on the soldiers so that it would implant things in their mind, sublims, to not load their machine guns when they're drunk. So the movie says, you know what I mean? It's just crazy.